Show opens on a graveyard at mid-afternoon, leaning closer to dusk. There is an extremely prominent gravestone in the center of the stage, with the name Michael Kemp and an engraving of a turtle roughly engraved onto the stone. There is no mound, but instead it appears to have already been slightly dug up or reburied without being completely filled in. There are a few other tombstones around the cemetery with more traditional names and epitaphs. Sam and Jeremy enter from stage left. Sam is carrying two shovels. Jeremy has a mouthwash bottle hidden in a brown paper bag and a plastic bag filled with maggots. He nervously drinks out of the bottle, but is revolted by it. Sam will mess with the golden Zippo lighter without thinking about it.
What if the gravedigger comes?
Caretaker. And I told you Josh is on vacation. I finally convinced him to take a month off.
He could come back.
He's gone until next month. He'd need to contact me to get the keys back anyway.
What if he forgot? Well, let's just head back and spend the night at my place. I'll call Sherry and get her to swing by too.
Jesus Christ, just... All right. What are you worried about? Is it the dance? You'll be fine. Especially once we get you a nice suit.
How can you be so calm? We're digging up a grave.
I'm not waking someone up or anything like that. Borrowing a suit, sure, but that's just for tonight.
No, we're not. We're digging up a dead body. No, we're digging up fucking Michael.
It's not like he's decomposing. Not like my dad is right now. He's looking pretty rough.
Yeah, but he died 15 years ago. What do you mean right now?
I mean...
Have you been digging up graves recently? Have you been
Who
digging
can
up
say?
Michael and your dad?
Can you tell?
What the hell is wrong with you?
I haven't done anything that bad. Anyways, we should get started. We do have a time to meet.
I'm sorry, are we just glossing over you just casually digging up dead bodies?
Don't think about it. Just enjoy the ride.
How can I enjoy this? Oh my god. We're gonna be arrested if anyone finds out. What if someone comes to visit?
No one is going to know or suspect anything, at least for a few weeks. And by then, I'll have reburied him, suit and all. You remember the plan, right?
I wasn't here and didn't know anything about it.
Good. No one comes to visit at night. At least they haven't for the past week.
Have you been sleeping here?
No. I haven't been sleeping here.
We'll go into your self-destructiveness later.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You only ate today because I made you.
I can't help it if I'm not hungry. I am thirsty, however. What's in the bottle?
You wouldn't like it, trust me.
It's alcohol, yeah? And it'll be right at home here.
How long do you think this will take?
A few hours, maybe. It took 7 the first time digging up a grave on my own. The only other time I did this with someone else was when Josh used the backhoe.
That's the digger you drove through the town, breaking all those power lines last year?
It's not my fault. I couldn't remember how to put the arm down, and I was late.
That is the definition of your fault. You managed to get the key to it, right?
Well, I know where it is.
And it's in one of those fake rocks near the backhoe.
More like in Josh's house on the opposite side of town. He doesn't exactly trust me with it anymore. We've got time, if that's what you're worried about.
Oh, it's just that the fishing store said the maggots won't last for more than a few hours in a bag in the summer after a few days.
Magnets last for years, not just a few days. Something to do with electric fields or whatever.
No, maggots.
Jeremy
Jesus.
lifts the bag. and Sam notices them for the first time.
What the fuck do you need maggots for?
To stop the body from coming after the suit.
What?
Maggots eat dead things, so that way he can't chase after the suit.
He's dead, last time I checked. He's not gonna run after us, or a suit, or anything. You can piss on his grave and he can't even talk back.
You don't know that. They say that the better the person, the more likely they are to come back.
Do you mean going to heaven or something like that?
No, they can come back easier as a spirit. That means like a ghost or a zombie, right?
Who gave you that shit?
Michael did.
Sounds like the bullshit he'd say.
What?
Nothing, just don't. I would take the things he said with a grain of salt. The only things that can haunt you are your own memories. And I don't think you really have to worry about him coming back even under those parameters. You gonna hold on to anything he ever gave you?
Yup. I still got the first condom he ever gave me.
He pulls out a necklace from under his shirt. It is a raggedy string threaded through a pierced condom wrapper. The wrapper itself no longer has defining brand marks on it, as they have been worn away from constant day-to-day wearing.
You know, he wanted you to use that on your dick.
It wasn't like he was ever going to see that. I wanted to let him know how much I appreciated it.
You didn't want it like that. Not like we can ask him after what I... Sorry. They won't just eat the body. The maggots, I mean. Why didn't you buy them today?
They aren't open Saturdays, only Monday through Friday.
What? The shop off Main Street.
Every shop is off Main Street.
So I'm right.
You just hedged your bets like you always do.
And
Can you tell me what color it's painted? Yep, just what I thought. You just want to let someone else put you in the best position and then just ride it out from there. Someday you'll need to make your own decision and do something that's all you. You're just going to get caught up in this town's stagnation if you do. Not that that's bad or anything. I mean, that's what I'll be going for, but I don't want to see it happen to you. It's Blue, the shop that's not open on weekends.
what kind of business model is that? We're not even near any good rivers. You'd have to leave to get on the other side of the mountains by Saturday. I feel like I've had this conversation before.
Probably. Only so much you can talk about around here.
Well, why don't we spread out and look for his place?
You've been here since, like,
Just go off
forever.
and try to find him.
He throws Jeremy one of the shovels. Jeremy takes a few steps before noticing the grave. He turns and looks over at Sam, who has started playing with his golden Zippo, letting his fingers dance along the flames. Jeremy clears his throat slightly.
I'll call you when I find it. I told you I'd call for you, so go fucking look.
Jeremy flinches and almost reaches out again. He decides against it and forces himself to suffer another drink. Jeremy exits off stage as Sam stares at the flame, desperately trying to place the feeling of deja vu. Gradually, he remembers, and the scenery shifts to the roof of his high school 3 years ago. He no longer has the lighter, and instead is pacing, looking up at the sky, while clumsily taking a cigarette out of the box, sucking on it for a second, twirling it around his fingers, and putting it back and repeating the whole process in an absent-minded manner that makes it clear he's done it many times before. After a moment, Michael enters the scene carrying a tackle box and a plastic bag. He watches the sophomore pace back and forth. Once he is sure that the underclassmen won't notice him, he picks up a piece of gravel and precisely flicks it at Sam's forehead.
You planning on doing anything with your life? It's fine if you're not. I don't care. But can you do nothing away from the wall?
Michael sits down, leaning his back against the wall once Sam steps away.
Thanks.
No problem.
Sam awkwardly fiddles around, caught between trying to hide the cigarettes and his muscle memory instinctively trying to repeat the cycle ad nauseum. Michael pays him no attention and starts taking out a fishing reel with a horribly mangled wire to undo.
So what are you doing up here? Bit early for senioritis, isn't it?
I left, or rather, I didn't exactly go to biology since I didn't.
Slow, man. I'm not going to turn you in for not having a hall pass. Clearly, I'm not exactly an exemplamen. Fuck it. I'm Michael, by the way. I'm a senior, which means that I know that you aren't.
I'm Sam. I'm a freshman. Wait, no, a sophomore. I was a freshman last year.
It would help if you actually smoked that. You can't get anything from it just by sucking on it.
I don't have a light.
Oh, here, take this one.
Thanks.
He fumbles to light the cigarette in his mouth before defeatedly lighting it while holding it in his left hand. Michael laughs and takes the cigarette out of his own. He does so gracefully, pushing out a cigarette in one fluid motion. Sam watches and unconsciously mimics the motion.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was making you smoke for your first time.
Not my first. Third, maybe. So, is this the result of your senioritis?
Pretty much.
He pulls out the same golden Zippo lighter that Sam has at the cemetery. He lights his cigarette easily, and Sam studies his movements.
C's make degrees, so why bother doing more?
Because college is the end-all be-all.
And that's exactly why you're here, to be the perfect college student.
Yeah. Something like that. I don't exactly know what I'm doing.
Good. Hold on to that feeling.
Sorry.
Means you still have some freedom. My brother, Jake, got to be the one who left for greener pastures while I'm given reign over this lovely little cesspool of a town. I know where I'm going, and that's nowhere. So here we are, making trips to the old bait shop instead of American Lit.
Why not just do it on the weekend?
Literature won't run a general store. Plus, they aren't open on the weekends.
Why not?
Dunno. Seems like a terrible business model to me. We aren't near any water, and it feels like you want to go get bait the day you go fishing.
Do you not fish?
No, just fixing this for a friend or cousin or whatever. He should be in your class this year.
A new tall kid that's not
The quickest? Yeah, that's Jeremy. Hence this mess that I need to fix. He's nice though, just mainly wants not to be a nuisance.
Jeremy, huh?
Sam finishes the cigarette and stomps it out. He goes to return the lighter, but Michael waves him off.
My parents' store has tons of them. Consider it payment for having to have a conversation with Jeremy. Oh, and tell him I'll have the rod fixed by Thursday.
Thanks. I probably need to head out, but
I'll see you around. Or at the very least, I'm sure I'll find you pacing around again.
Sam nods and turns to leave. He returns to the cemetery and plays with the golden Zippo lighter once again. He looks at Michael's grave and gives it a little kick.
Chair.
Here.
Jesus, have you been there the whole time?
Basically, you've been standing in front of his grave the whole time.
I guess I have. Hey, can I have a drink now?
Nope. It's an acquired taste. You shouldn't be drinking here anyways.
Never stopped me before.
Saw a couple bottles by your dad's grave.
I don't remember drinking over there. Should we get started? It's 7. Fuck, it's 7. Come on, man, we have 3 hours till it starts, which means that we would be an hour late if we got this all the way done in half the time I've done. I theoretically could do it on my own. You gonna start digging?
Oh, you want to go at the same time?
What else would we do?
Take shifts? You weren't super clear.
Just hurry up.
Now, is there a proper gravedigger technique? Like a dead man switch?
What? Do you know what that is?
I heard it mentioned on the news a lot with regards to lots of dead people, so I would assume it's a way to hold your shovel to dig faster, but you like switch your hands back and forth for speed.
That is very much not what it is.
What's that then?
We are not having this discussion right now. Have you ever dug anything with your shovel?
Yeah, I dug my dog's grave last year.
Wait, just do that. Jesus fucking Christ.
They start to dig. Occasionally, Jeremy will poke the bag of maggots to make sure they're still alive. Jeremy attempts to whistle, but ultimately just starts to hum "Whistle While You Work" before being glared into submission by Sam.
Sorry.
What's the rule on apologizing?
Not necessary unless I've killed someone.
Yep. And you haven't killed anyone. What's with your mood, man? I thought you didn't want to be here.
Oh, I'm livid. I just want to get out as fast as I can.
And humming Disney tunes speeds this up. How?
Keeps an upbeat tempo. We do the same thing down at Pop's workshop. I would be happier to not be doing this and just go hang out more time.
You've never gone to a dance, though. You should go to at least one in your high school career. Have some form of a social life outside of me.
You're just bitter because I had a better 4-year GPA than you did.
Not by much.
3.0 compared to 2.0. Shouldn't have skipped so many classes.
Hardly counts. You didn't even go to our school freshman year.
Still higher.
Man, shut up. I could ace exams.
I've been meaning to ask, what's the deal with that turtle? Looks a lot cheaper than what his parents could afford, given they're the only store in town.
Sam looks at his wrist before realizing that Jeremy is referring to the gravestone.
Oh, I guess some petty vandalism.
It looks familiar, though. Not just some random street art.
I don't know. Come on, we've got more digging to do.
Sam looks at the turtle. Once again, he is thrown back into his memories, and the cemetery and Jeremy disappear. He's at the grocery store that Michael's parents run. They're the only two people who are there. Michael is graduated, and Sam is soon to be a junior. Sam paces around, tossing his cigarette pack up and down out of boredom more than anything else. Michael is intensely drawing with one hand and playing with the Zippo lighter with the other.
You're sure we can't smoke in here?
Uh-huh.
Even if we had the windows open?
Yep.
This sucks. Should have just stayed home or hung out with Sherry.
Sure. I'd still be trapped here, though.
The hell are you doing?
Michael scrambles to hide the papers, but Sam manages to see the top one.
Drawing? Does that take so much attention to do little doodles? Sorry.
That's not necessary unless you've killed someone. My parents are retiring in a year, which means this place will be mine, and I always knew it would happen, but I thought I would have longer, and it got me thinking about what I could have done if I were able to live my own life. At least for a few years. But I guess I was never meant to be free, and Jake was the only one who got out before this town closed its gates, and we're stuck here.
You're not alone, though. I'm here.
Sure. And then what happens when you leave?
I won't be leaving you. And the drawing,
It's dumb and unrealistic.
I was leaving this hellhole. Sorry.
Not necessary unless you kill
someone. So what is it?
I wanted to do art design. It doesn't matter now.
Have you done any of that before now? So you have no idea where to start. And no way to delay the handover?
That's dumb and unrealistic. Nothing in this town really works for that either.
No. Not. Why don't you just leave? Fuck this store, fuck this town.
I can't. This is the only grocery store this town has. It's shitty. The AC's always broken. Floorboards squeak when you walk. The lights flicker and sometimes go out with every sneeze. And it's priced way higher than it has any right to be. But it's all the town has. No one wants to take over. Jake dashed out at the first sign of freedom. My parents are doing the same. Someone has to keep this town from just dying. And they need this store. I hate it, but I can't let it go.
Savior complex?
Maybe. Even if the town dies after I'm gone, at least I'll have done something to keep it alive. Who knows, a corporation in shining armor could swoop in and save us all, but I don't think the profit's quite there.
Let me see what you've got.
What? Why?
Are you proud of what you've done?
I don't hate it, I guess.
Then let me see. What are these for?
Just designs.
You want this to be a job, yeah?
I have a job and a future.
But you want something different, right?
I don't know. I just feel like I've lost something by not having the chance to try. But also, I can't exactly charge anyone for these. They're a step above shit.
They aren't bad. Just feels like they're missing something. A direction. When do you take over?
Can we not? Just let this go and I'll give you some discounts.
When?
The paperwork will be all done and they'll retire before the new year. It's basically already happened, so just let it go. It's fine.
6 months. Seems doable.
What? Burning this place down?
Be your first client. It'll be your place. Rebrand and make yourself a logo and go from there. It'll be your own shop. You're the only one to let down.
It's so incredibly stupid. You think that's how people start real careers?
They've got to start somewhere, don't they?
If it were that easy, then everyone would be a designer. It's fine, really. I've made my peace.
Then why are you still drawing? You didn't call them doodles earlier. There's something to you.
Sam grabs the notebook. Michael tries to get it back, but Sam stops him by throwing a collection of cigarettes in his face. He begins flipping through the pages.
How's this one? A turtle?
Sea turtle.
The difference being...
Have you heard about how they're born? Okay, so the mother lays a bunch of eggs on the beach that they themselves were born on, and then she leaves. And a couple months later, the babies hatch into this vast hellscape leading up to the ocean. And there are predators everywhere, and every inch of that sand can be their grave. And they fight their way off the beach, kind of like a reverse D-Day, I guess, losing siblings to anything that touches them. And if they make it to the water, then they're free, and they'll make it in the world. And someday, for whatever reason, they'll come back.
Why not just lay them in the ocean? Feels like that would be safer.
Don't know. We didn't talk about that in environmental. just how it's always been. All I know is that they either make it out to sea or they're killed by their environment, and the sea turtles that we know and see are proven to be strong.
Since when do you know so much about turtles?
Only sea turtles.
You haven't answered my question at all.
Another dream gone to the wayside. Well, I'm stuck on this beach.
So let's try out this as a design.
It's not just going to work like that. We better just keep it.
We're trying it. Together. It's your store. Do what you want with your life. It's your life, no one else's.
You're helping me get all the supplies if I have to do this.
Michael tosses cigarettes back at Sam, who tries to catch one in his mouth. They laugh. The memory fades back into the cemetery. Jeremy returns and Sam compares his tattoo to the turtle he had scraped onto the headstone. It's gotten considerably darker now. The Zippo lighter rests on the tombstone, providing a small amount of light. They're still digging.
Now we should be getting to him pretty soon.
And you're sure we can't fill up the hole? I'd feel bad for just leaving him out against the elements.
He's dead. And weren't you the one who brought maggots in case he came after us?
That's self-defense and completely justifiable.
It would be, if that was ever something that had ever happened. We won't be leaving the top of the coffin open either.
Why don't you think it could happen?
What?
Him coming back as a ghost or a spirit or something?
Because if that was a thing, it would have been well documented rather than just some stories kids tell.
But there are a lot of those stories.
Told by fucking children. The only way a dead person will haunt you is in your own mind. Without a pulse, a body can't do anything.
I'm just saying, there are a lot of unexplained events out there.
Sam throws down his shovel and steps out of the grave. He starts to pace around, but trips, falling onto the bag of maggots, causing the bag to burst.
God fucking damn it!
Are the maggots okay?
Thank you so much for the concern. I knew we should have brought a flashlight or a fucking lamp.
You should have told me I needed a suit sooner.
Why would I have thought that you'd be wearing a t-shirt and jeans to prom?
I don't know. It's my first dance. I thought it was a casual
Why don't you have
type
a suit? Who doesn't have a suit for church or weddings?
for funerals.
Yeah. Is that why you didn't go?
No, I felt it wasn't right to cry through the whole service and ruin it for everyone else.
You know, it's okay. It's kind of what a funeral is for. Letting all that out.
It just felt too wrong for me. Why didn't you go to the will reading? He specifically requested there to be one and you be there.
Sam opens his mouth to say something, but can't bring himself to say that he couldn't confront Michael's parents. Jeremy is slowly trying to pull together the maggots into one pile. Sam picks up the shovel and slams it down into the grave, eliciting a thud.
Well, we've struck coffin. Sorry. Can you help me get him out? It'll be easier with another person.
They bring out a wooden casket. Sam undoes the clasp off the top and opens it up. They are both hit with the reek of alcohol emanating from the casket. Sam is fairly unaffected. Jeremy places his bottle next to the grave.
At least the suit looks nice.
Now the first suit we have to show you tonight is a nice gray 3-piece.
I'd rather you not.
Right.
Does embalming normally smell like rum and vodka? Like a grocery store's worth?
Not normally. There may have been some spectral behavior.
All right. Let's get him out then.
Sam and Jeremy gently lift Michael out of the casket. Sam is taken aback seeing his friend all the way out of the casket for the first time since his death. Jeremy holds the body bridal style once he's out of the casket.
I'll go get changed, I suppose.
Sam nods, and Jeremy exits with Michael. Sam waits a moment and goes to grab the bottle that Jeremy has been coveting the whole night. He takes a sip and promptly spits it out. He takes the bottle out of the paper bag to reveal a bottle of mouthwash. He takes the bottle over to the casket and pours the remainder into it, as he has become accustomed to doing the past nights that he has spent there. He takes the bottle and attempts to gently place it behind a grave, but a series of real alcohol bottles tumble out from behind it. He scrambles to hide them all away. He comes back to Michael's grave, gently picks up the golden Zippo once more, and starts to trace the flames.
So this is what? The 9th or 10th? One of these goodbyes or apologies. I know you can't hear me because, well, you're with Jeremy now, I guess, but I'm sorry. I wasn't even fucking drunk and I killed you. I wasn't drunk. It wasn't raining. I just got distracted for 1 fucking second and now I couldn't even carry you out on my own any further than a few steps out of the car. And now I go do what you couldn't and just leave this place to rot. Everywhere I look is just somewhere that we went or made fun of or loved in some weird, twisted way. I can't even look at Jeremy without being reminded of the first day on the roof with you and how I should have been better and how I killed you. I'm so sorry. I can't be better like you. I can't put others in front of me. I stay here and I'll kill myself by the end of summer. The last one before I would have left you here, but it would have been our summer. I wish I could stay and be like you, but I'm selfish and weak. I couldn't even face you sober without Jeremy here, and he couldn't fucking know that's why we did this. I'm so sorry, Michael. Maybe I'll be able to be like a fucking sea turtle and come back here someday, but if I stay here, this beach will be the death of me.
He hears Jeremy returning. He quickly tries to get himself composed and almost succeeds. He hastily places the Zippo back on the gravestone. Jeremy enters with Michael in tow, still dressed in his regular clothes.
Do you need more time, or are you good?
You are... Did you hear?
I picked up some pieces in the past week. I don't need you to explain everything to me because that was between you and him.
Jeremy places Michael back in the casket.
But between you and me, we are not going to some fucking dance on your last night here. We're gonna go down to the store where Sherry's waiting and have a good night.
That's his store, though.
He gave it to me. Would have known that if you went to the will reading. So we'll get him reburied and head back. Sound good?
You've never been to dance.
I don't give a shit about a dance. I'm not losing another friend without being able to say goodbye.
I'm sorry.
He hesitates a moment before hugging Sam.
It was an accident. I know it doesn't feel like it, but it was. You're not weak for needing to leave. You needed to anyways. It just sped up the timeline a bit. You'll always have a home here. I'll be here whenever you're ready to come back. For tonight, though, let's just have one last good time together, yeah? All right, then. Let's go.
So, you want to tell me what you were doing with a bottle of mouthwash all night?
Oh, god damn it. Where is it?
With the rest of the stuff I guess you knew I was stealing. Why mouthwash?
They say it has alcohol in it.
Who's they?
Well, the bottle, for one. And there was that story about the 2-year-old dying from alcohol poisoning after drinking a bottle of Listerine a few years back. I wanted something to calm my nerves.
All right. But truly no more mouthwash from now on. And you cannot drive us back.
Yeah, Sherry's on her way after fixing up your car.
I can't.
You aren't walking out of here just on your feet. If you can't drive out of here, we aren't going to let you go until you actually are ready. So let's get Michael.
As Jeremy turns to look at the casket, he knocks the golden Zippo off the gravestone and inside the casket. Having been drenched with alcohol nightly for over a week, the casket and Michael quickly erupt into flames.
There, Reed.
The pair look on at the flames, finally able to see the path out of the cemetery clearly again. Jeremy starts to scramble around, desperately trying to set the flames out. Sam only stares at the flames, and Jeremy fades out for the last time. The fire begins to fade down to a simple, small campfire. Michael enters. He's been drinking and currently has a Four Loko.
You need to slow down.
Not working tomorrow.
Yes, and you're barely going to be able to move if you keep going.
As if you're any better when you drink.
That's not what... Let's just have a good night, yeah? It's been a while since we got out camping.
And we'll never go fishing.
What?
You called me out here. What do you want?
Can I not just want to hang out with a friend?
What do you want? Got another brilliant idea for my future?
To spend time.
Don't bullshit me. I never did that to you.
Sherry's dad offered me a job at his garage, and I don't feel like I can accept.
It's a good job. You should take it.
You know it isn't that easy.
Yeah, because having options is such a burden. Just take a solid job and live quietly.
That's working out great for you now, isn't it?
Shut up.
I'm thinking about leaving after graduation.
Yeah, I figured.
But feels like I'm doing something wrong.
Then don't leave.
Are you going to say anything actually helpful?
Do whatever you want. It's your life, no one else's. Isn't that right? If you want to stay, stay. If you want to leave, leave.
I don't. This feels toxic. Get some plastic beach that'll kill me before I ever have the chance to leave, but I don't want to leave you. What would you do?
It doesn't matter what I would do. What the fuck do you want? Me to give you permission to leave? Then leave. Get the fuck out and don't look back. Don't come back. That's what you want, then go do it. Leave me in this hellhole behind.
I'm not trying to leave you, just this.
And what does it mean to leave this town? It means leaving Jeremy and me behind to rot? Or you can let us hold you here until you start to rot yourself, so fucking leave us behind. That's what you want to hear, right?
No. I don't want to hear that. You don't.
I'm a part of this town. Because unlike you, I can't just run away. If this town is toxic, then so am I.
You know that's not true. I can stay.
Don't you fucking dare do that to yourself because of me.
The hell am I supposed to do then? Do I stay here? Do I go?
Choose your goddamn self. I don't give a shit. Just do what you want.
What is wrong with you? What happened?
Why does it matter to you when you're leaving?
Because you matter to me.
I shouldn't. I'm just holding you back here. Together, obviously, isn't something that's important to you anymore.
That's not for you to decide.
I thought if I could somehow make it my own, it would just feel like something that was mine. My own store, my own home, my own decision. You're the one that pushed me that way. You made me do it. I could have been content running that little store, but you said to do something, and I did. It's been rejected. My design.
You're the only one who gets to decide.
You don't understand. You can't. Because all this town is a cesspool to you. No one single person has rejected it. The town has. It's new, different, abstract, the antithesis to this town that exists in a comforting sense of stagnation. And you haven't been around, so you wouldn't know. The sign is constantly vandalized. Customers ask how long it'll be until the old one is fixed, telling that the 5-year-old who made it should be told to give up. My parents, who shouldn't have shit to do with anything anymore, have been getting calls every day asking for it to be changed back for a stupid fucking turtle.
So, fuck what anyone else thinks.
I can't just reject the town. Not like you can.
So you just accept being rejected like that?
I fucking guess I do. I give a shit about this place, unlike you, so make up your mind. You can't. You never can. Not for yourself. Always for everyone else, though. You just know what's best, don't you?
What would you do?
Just shut up. Either choose to leave or stay, but stop asking me to run your life. I'm heading back.
You can't drive back. Not with how much you've been drinking.
I'll fucking walk.
I'll drive you back. At least let me do that.
Whatever.
Michael moves to leave, but Sam grabs him. It slips from being a memory to something else. Michael turns to him, no longer drunk. He's calm.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. You did finally kill someone.
I didn't want us to end like that. Do you forgive me?
I can't answer that. I'm not Michael.
But can't you just... Did he hate me at the end?
I can't answer that. I don't know.
I just want to hear him say it.
It wouldn't mean anything. It's just a lie that you're telling yourself.
Just say it. You're something in my head, so just do what I want. Please. I've made up my mind. I want to know that he didn't hate me. I want him to forgive me.
You'll never get that. Not from me, not from you. That chance ended the instant he died in that crash. No matter how much you tried to talk with him while carrying his body back to town, no matter how many nights you've come and talked with his corpse, no matter how many times you make a fake version of him in your head, you're never going to hear it.
That's not fair.
You said things were. You made your decision to drive him back that night and it killed him. So what are you do now?
I'm leaving. Is that the right thing to do?
I can't tell you that. I can't tell you that anything you've done was right or wrong. Just make your decisions and live with them.
All right. I'm sorry you weren't enough. Not enough to keep me here with you. Do you hate me for that? You can't answer. Right. He was my friend. I fucked things up for him because I could take a risk on someone else, but not myself. I'm leaving him behind. I was leaving him behind then, I guess, too. He would be happy for me, right?
Planning on doing anything with your life? You still have freedom. I can't tell you what that means, just that he said it.
Despite himself, he reaches out to hug Michael, but he slips through his grasp. Michael simply shakes his head and exits. Sam returns to the present to see Jeremy frantically trying to stop the fire. Sam watches him for a moment before stopping him.
We can stop it. We have to save him.
It's okay. Remember what I told you earlier? Michael isn't coming back. This is just another way for him to be gone. Let's go to your place. I'll write Josh a note letting him know I did this.
He won't be able to come back if we leave it like this.
Yeah, for now. But I know I'll find a way back if I go. You said that we needed to get him buried, but cremation works too.
He pats Jeremy on the back and they look at the fire. Jeremy says a quick prayer for Michael and exits in front of Sam. Sam looks back one last time at the pyre. He instinctively reaches to fiddle with his lighter, but realizes he doesn't have it anymore. He contemplates going back for it. He stops just sort of going back. He pulls out a box of cigarettes and takes out the cigarette the way Michael did on the roof. He lights it using the pyre's flame. Finally, he leaves the graveyard.